This came from a post I saw where a teacher quit his job. He was teaching for X amount of years, and he quit his job as a teacher to work at Walmart because it paid significantly more. He said that it paid like $12,000 more, and it was in like some small town or whatever. Because some teachers in small towns, they get paid like $28,000 a year, $26,000 a year, or whatever the case may be.
If the teacher get paid not even 50, you can only imagine what a small town teacher get paid.
And so, how do you feel about job shaming? How do you feel about, oh, you can't talk to as soon as you meet someone, you ask them, what do you do? Like, that is who they are, and your job is not who you are. But we as Americans, that's something that we use to gauge people. Mm-hmm. What do you do? Like, that is, tell me about yourself. What do you do? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, if I have a daycare center, I run a daycare, that might tell you I like kids, but that's not really telling you who I am or what I like. But anyway, so how do you feel about like knowing somebody's job title and not talking to someone just because based on their job title? And then it was a two-part because you sent me, would you work at Wendy's for $20 an hour? So this is kind of like the first question is, does it matter where, if you're trying to talk to a guy, does it matter where he works or what he does? If you fell on hard times and just say whatever industry you was in closed down and you needed money and unemployment wasn't available and there wasn't any Uber Eats and all of these new things, would you work at Wendy's for $20 an hour?
So first, I feel like asking someone what they do for a living does tell you a lot about them. I feel like, okay, so let's say for instance, I say, hey, how are you? What do you do? Like, tell me about yourself. What do you do? And the first thing you say is, I work at Jiffy Lube, and man, they be getting on my nerves, and man, they be doing this, and man, they be doing that. And I'll be like, oh, well, how long have you worked there? 15 years. That tell me a lot about you.
Like
you complacent as a motherfucker. You've been complaining. You're somewhere you hate for 15 motherfucking years. Yeah, that's what I said. Oh. Tell me about yourself. And man, I work down at Jiffy Lube. I can't stand the motherfuckers. I can't do this. And then I said, oh, well, damn, how long you been there? 15 years. That tell me a whole lot about you. Not necessarily where you work, but what you do, your attitude towards what you do says a lot. You being able to put up with a whole... we're not at the time anymore, the James Evans, like you like to say, era, where you had to work down at the motherfucking plant because it wasn't nothing else. Nowadays, there's a plethora of things that you can do. You know what I'm saying? You can do anything under the fucking sun. The internet has made that possible for you not even to have to work for a motherfucker as long as you live. Like, you never have to work for nobody for real, for real. So if you still in a job that you hate for 15 years, bitch, that tell me a lot about you. Mm-hmm. At my age, I'm 44. I've already said this before. You can agree or disagree. I don't want nobody who's just starting their life out. I don't want nobody who just recently, by my age, 45, you should be well into your whatever. I'm looking for first of all, and it has nothing to do with money. First of all, at 45, I want to take vacations. I want to do a lot of shit. You can't take off if you just starting. You can't. You the lowest on the totem pole. You can't do shit that ain't playing. So I'm in a different space in my life. Now, would I work at Wendy's for $20 an hour? My answer is no. First of all, nobody gets abused more than the motherfuckers in the fast food industry. You got them little kids coming in there playing. They tearing stores down. They throwing sodas back in the motherfucking window. You know what I'm saying? They do too much. These kids do too much. So my freedom is worth more than $20 an hour. I'm going to get fired or locked the fuck up day one. So no, I'm not. I don't care if they were paying $50 an hour. Certain jobs, I'm just not going to be able to do. Mm-hmm. So nah.
Tracy said most people are complacent. Most humans are complacent, Tone.
Absolutely.
And Tracy also said, I hate it. I never ask people what they do. I could care less. As long as the person is stable and happy, that's all that matters.
I ask.
Akila said exactly, Tone, to you. What else? Oh, Sue said that girl didn't get to sleep. She worked out and changed her diet. Okay, my opinion on it is, I don't job shame. I don't judge a person by their job. I feel like most people do it to gauge what they feel like is the person's salary, which you can never do that.
I don't do it for that.
Some people like an office job because they feel like that's a more important job than a home health aide or whatever the case may be, when that other person could make more money, or whatever the case may be. That person could take care of their family better than this person. Somebody could work at Target and somebody could work in the federal government. I mean, you just never know. You can't base it on what you assume somebody makes or just because of their job title. Me personally, working at Wendy's, no, I wouldn't. I would probably make my own food and sell it before I worked at Wendy's or whatever the case may be. But I definitely don't knock anybody that works in the fast food industry or does anything to provide for their children. But I do feel like we as a society definitely job shame. And I feel like, moreover, people that come from some people that never worked or went to DC used to have this program. If moms was on cash assistance, they had a program called Welfare to Work, where they helped moms get jobs. So yeah, you might have got into the DC government or whatever the case may be, and then you start acting like you never were receiving cash assistance or welfare, if you want to call it that, bitch, for 10 or 15 years. So those kind of things, I feel like that's the status, and that's the whole reason why you want to know where somebody work, what somebody do. Some people call it a job, which means they're putting down somebody else's job. People want to know, did you go to college? Well, people want to know all of that, and all of it's based on how they're going to view you.
I don't view anybody any different, though. I will say, I don't give a fuck where you work. But like I said, if you're telling me, even if you're saying I'm the president of a company, and you're telling me how much you hate your job and how much you're miserable and how much this and I barely want to come to work, that says a lot about you. So I'm not looking for you could. And I've dated people who've never told me where they work. They told me what they do, but they've never told me where they work. So I'm not doing it for that at all. I'm doing it because it tells me a lot.
Okay, Tess said, Tonette, when someone asks what you do for a living, that's another way to figure out how much money they think you make. The wheels are already starting to turn. Can he wine and dine me, spoil me, take care of me? Stature is everything to people now, sadly enough.
See, but that's what I'm saying. For me, I'm not looking for none of that because I take care of myself. Yeah, if you my nigga, you're gonna help the fuck out. But I'm not looking at you. Like I said, I've dated men, and I can't tell you to this day where they work. I can tell you what they do, but I can't tell you where the fuck they work. So I'm definitely not doing it to gauge. I think that's a little weird. Well, I don't.
People do that.
I don't think it's weird. It depends on what type of woman you are and what type of man you are, because some men ask those questions too.
Yeah,
they don't want no bum ass bitch. They want a nigga. But okay, so let me ask you this, and Tess and Tracy, let me ask y'all this: is that preference, or is that you a stuck up ass bitch that?
I don't think
gold digging, money hungry. You know the whole.
I don't think you're any of that, and I think in this area, when a man wants to know where a woman works and what she does, he trying to see how he could get in there, because in this area, a lot of women do make good money,
right?
And a lot of women make more money than their male counterpart. Mm-hmm. So if he's looking for a wife, he's trying to get somebody that could halfway take care of him or ease some of the stuff off of his back that he got. Some of the shrapnel he might got from child support, past relationships, this, that, and the third. So I feel like a lot of men want to know, is a woman capable of making that type of money? And that's really to help him out. But just
there's a lot of men that drive Benzes that can't afford.
Just in the grand scheme of things, even if you're not looking for a relationship, I just feel that people, like Tess said, they do it even if you're just out at a social. They just do it to, like Tess said, gauge you and
see how much you're gonna spend.
And that's how they show the level of respect for you.
That's crazy.
Joelle said, "Hey ladies."
Hey Joelle.
Clee said nothing wrong with having a preference.
But Clee, is it a preference Or is it because there is men that ask that question not because they're trying to get over, but they ask that question because they want to see if this bitch is my equal, for one. And some men actually don't want a successful woman. Some men actually be like, well, can this bitch take care of the kids because she make me feel like a king? Nah, she too independent. Nah, she make too... Some men ask for that reason. Is that a preference?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Is that a preference?
Answer that question, but Tess said you definitely cannot determine someone's pockets by their job title.
At all.
A person who works at McDonald's can have a hell of an investment portfolio as opposed to someone who works for a top tier firm and mismanages their money. Case in point, my nephew.
More money, more bills.
My nephew has moved on and he's in the military and stuff now. But when he wasn't in the military, he worked at he was a lifeguard.
I was going to say, what, a lifeguard?
He did a lot of little things, trying to find his
hustle
way.
man.
He was a full-time student at Bowie State University, but ultimately he ended up at Longhorn and somewhere. Now, how they made Bubba head cook, me and Molly trying to figure that out to this day. Me and my sister trying to figure it out. But anyway, anytime, like if he needed a car or anything like that, he would go to the car lot and buy a car with cash.
Yeah.
He did. He always had lots of money saved and this, that, and the third, where, hey, I might talk to a guy that works at the Library of Congress and he need cash out to get gas.
For you.
To get gas for the week or whatever the case may be. So Tess, you're definitely right on that. You can't judge anything by the way it appears.
I feel like, especially at this day and age where you literally could do anything to make money, you never know what the fuck somebody got in their pocket.
Because I met a lady in Atlanta. I was in downtown Atlanta by Centennial Park. And I met a lady. It so happened to just start raining abruptly, and I bought a poncho from her, like some waters and all that. I always talk to people. Mm-hmm. She said one day her daughter sold juices or whatever, and she kind of clowned her daughter. But the amount of money her daughter made, she ended up doing it herself. She had somebody there as her security, and she did that every day. And she says she makes a killing. So You know what I'm saying? So you definitely can't ever judge a book by its cover. And it's so many ways to make money out here that if you're broke, you want to be broke, or you're comfortable with being broke.
It was an Uber driver in Miami that told me he made $1,800 a week. He in South Beach for one, and you got to remember that's all tax free. So he gets $1,800 every 7 days. That's like what, about almost $6,000 a month.
Okay, Keisha Blaylock said, I have always looked at a flashy car as a bill, not a status symbol.
Girl.
Not easily impressed by those types of things. That's true.
And I'm one of the people that don't know you go from a motherfucking Benz, so you pulling up, bitch, I don't know.
Atlanta Angela has entered.
Hey, ATO Ange.
I love that printed one piece you had on the other day, Angela. Was that a one piece or a two piece? But that was super cute. Angela said, people ask you what you do to gauge the amount of respect they will give you. Matthew is back. Matthew, don't keep popping in and out. Sit down somewhere, stay in here, or go.
Matthew, when you were dating, I know you're married now, but when you were dating, did you ever ask women what they did for a living? Or, if you did, why were you asking? Did you want to make sure that bitch had a couple of dollars? Or did you want to see if she was... why you asked?
No, Keisha, your comment about a car, it was good. Tone did say something about a car.
What?
She just said, I thought someone mentioned about a car. Daryl has entered.
No, yeah, Keisha, that's what I'm saying. I don't know the difference between a car, but men place value in that.